Xi face-to-face.
Today's
Tensions
news.
between the U.S. and China have reached an all-time high. Holiday weekend shootings.
The violence is intolerable and unacceptable.
Southern storms. Nearly the entire town is without power. Good morning. I'm Deborah Rodriguez with the CBS World News Roundup. We begin in China, where Antony Blinken has become the first U.S. Secretary of State to pay a diplomatic visit since 2018. He met with the president for about a half an hour. Chief Foreign Affairs correspondent Margaret Brennan reports from Beijing.
Good afternoon.
This brief face-to-face encounter with Xi Jinping, China's all-powerful leader, is why President Biden sent Secretary Blinken to China.
I had an important conversation with President Xi Jinping. We both agree on the need to stabilize our relationship.
Blinken and Wang Yi, the top foreign policy advisor and a Communist Party leader, had a terse exchange. They'd clashed in February, shortly after the U.S. shoot-down of the Chinese spy balloon, when Blinken confronted him with intelligence showing that Beijing was considering providing weapons to Vladimir Putin. Beijing objects to recent U.S. restrictions on sales of high-end technology, the expanding American presence in the Pacific, and U.S. support for Taiwan.
It was a violent weekend here in the U.S. At least 12 people were killed since Friday. CBS's Elise Preston.
At a Juneteenth celebration in Willowbrook, Illinois, 1 dead, 22 injured. At a party in St. Louis, Missouri, 1 dead, 9 injured, all teenagers. All those attending will carry with them the scars, physical and mental, from the gun violence that tore into their lives. A music festival in Washington, a nightclub in Georgia, a house party in California. More than a dozen mass shootings, nearly 100 people injured. And that was just this weekend. So far this year, more than 800 children and teenagers have been killed by guns.
Officials in Lewin, Mississippi say at least one person was killed, 18 hospitalized after a tornado whipped through overnight. Strong winds tore the roof off one home and damaged others. It was one of 6 twisters in the state in less than 24 hours. Haley Fizzackerly with Entergy, Mississippi.
What we're used to is when a storm hits our area, imagine a hurricane or a tornado that hits the area and leaves. And we can start the restoration process, but there have been waves of storm constantly that have created the challenges that we're doing.
A U.S. judge in Florida has just ordered former President Trump's defense attorneys not to release evidence in the classified documents case to the news media or to the public ahead of his trial. U.S. Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhardt has also put strict conditions on Mr. Trump's access to the materials. The former president can only review case materials under the direct supervision of a defense counsel. President Biden hits the campaign trail in California today after a weekend appearance closer to home. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe is at the White House.
President Biden back before a friendly crowd of union workers in Philadelphia for the first rally of his re-election bid. The president pressing his economic agenda, making his case for another term.
We've got a record to run on. And most importantly, we're not only changing this country, we're transforming it.
Mr. Biden's rally came days after GOP frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, was arraigned on federal charges for his handling of classified documents. His closest competitor, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, avoided any direct criticism of Trump, but tried, drawing a contrast.
There is no substitute for victory, and we've developed a culture of losing in this party.
In Ukraine, drone video shows Russia using remote-controlled tanks packed with explosives to try to fend off attacks. British intelligence shows both sides are suffering heavy casualties. CBS's Ian Lee is on the front lines in Ukraine.
The country is winning ground slowly, but painfully. Fought for by men like Yevgen. What has this war been like for your children? They're worried, he tells me. What do you hope the future is like for your children? Peace and freedom, he says. Is that why you fight? Yes.
It's 4 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.